It's Friday. Woohoo! How are you doing? It's Friday. We did another week. It's so exciting. How you guys doing? So it's Kirsten Liebelt. If you don't know who I am, my name is Kirsten and I live in Minnesota. And we talk about insulin resistance all the freaking time. That's what we do around here. I need to not touch my microphone because I think it kind of cuts out on Facebook a little bit. So I apologize. All right. So today is Friday, and in the group Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women, what that means, just as an FYI, I've been working on some stuff this morning. Facebook can see it, nobody else can. I have been making my recipe because it's recipe day for the 5-day challenge. So every month we do a 5-day insulin resistant reset challenge. And this is the last day, you guys. The week went like that. It was so fast. All of the replays will be up in the featured section. Go check those out. And then today we're going to do a recipe. So I'm excited about that. I hope you are in there. We've been doing this at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time for over a year. What? That's kind of crazy. So we've been doing this since I think it was a year ago, February. So my dad died of type 2 diabetes when he was 63. Good morning, Patty. Good to see you. It's recipe day today. Very excited. And so my whole life literally revolved around type 2 diabetes. And I know that sounds crazy, but and I've mentioned these things before, but I just have these very vivid memories of looking up at my uncles, and they had these big bellies, and then their belts were below the belly, and, they'd all, I'm a 32-inch waist and, whatever. And then they'd, razz each other and what, because they knew that wasn't true. And it was just life. It was just the way of life. I have such a vivid memory of like when my grandpa, he was Italian, 100%, came from Italy, ended up type 2 diabetic, blind, and in a wheelchair. This is where this heads, people. Why do you think I talk to you about it all the time? Blind and in a wheelchair. My memories of my grandpa were him crying because he was blind. And he didn't like it. And when he passed away, my grandma was like, I think she might have been in her 60s. I'm not sure. So she moved in with my aunt. My aunt had this beautiful home here in the cities, and she kind of had a wing for her mother, and then she had her own family wing. It was very beautiful on a lake. And so my grandma lived there. So every time we would go and visit my grandma, because that was common, very Italian, very familial, right? Like, you go and you have Sunday dinner and you mangia, you eat and you show respect to grandma, and always in the kitchen, always stirring a pot, always serving food, always on you about respecting your father, always all of the things. And this was very ingrained in me, that food meant love and fellowship and all of the things. But yet in the meantime, everybody was like sick and medicated and dying. And, when my dad died at 63 with all of those meds, he had so many meds, this pill and this pill and this shot, la, 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 la. And everything would like fight in his body, and he'd have a hard time functioning. And like, he wasn't safe to drive and all of those things. When he died, I was like, what the heck? How is this possible? And so I kind of just allowed things to ruminate like in my mind for a few years while I personally did nothing. And I mean nothing for a very long time. I was 30 when he died. I didn't even start doing anything until my upper 40s. So I am no hero. By the grace of God, I decided to finally shift a few things. But that's why it's so important to chat about it. So good morning, Magda. Good to see you. So I come to the conversation super honest, authentically and honestly about, how it impacted my life, and how I just know that every time I get another testimony from you, every time I get another story from somebody that's like, wow, I'm doing it. I'm actually doing it. I just am so grateful, because my story or my message to you is that this is not as hard as you think it is. It's not. I Promise you. So I'm the only person in my immediate family who completely avoided type 2 diabetes. I did it with supplementation and trading out foods. It's what I teach. So today we're going to talk about something that I literally have never done a live on before. How is that even possible? Well, let me tell you, it's possible. There's a lot of stuff out there, right? And we do a lot of repetition because repetition is the mother of all skill. So when you have repetition, it gets into your brain. That's why if you ever wonder, like, why do we repeat topics? Well, that's why. Number one, I have strangers on my content every single day. And number two, you have to hear things over and over and over again before they kind of settle into a new way of thought process. So, all right, so there's this invisible hormone. And remember, obesity is a hormonal conversation. This is not a calorie in, calorie out conversation. We've been actually talking about that quite a bit in the group this week in the challenge, right? Now, don't get me wrong. Calories matter, but not in the way that you've been taught. Okay, so it's a hormone that's keeping you stuck, and it's not insulin. Isn't that interesting? So you've heard me talk about insulin for over a year now, but today's live is going to be just a little bit different. I've never done a live on this hormone before, and yet it might be the missing link in why your body is still resisting fat loss, or maybe it's slower than you want it to be. Energy and food freedom is what people are after, and what if this is a missing link for you? So let's just kind of tackle this, and then maybe it's something you can take action on right now this weekend, right? So if you're doing everything right and you're still not seeing the results that you're looking for, this could be the key your body's been waiting for. So if you've ever had those days where you're not even hungry, you're not really hungry, but you keep eating. Is anybody? I'd love to know. Jump on in from the balcony TikTok. So good to see you guys. Thank you for joining. Thank you so much. Thank you for tapping the screen. Good morning, Jan. Good to see you. I just really appreciate it. I know TikTok's a different universe over there, so it can be a little harder sometimes to get your message out. But you just keep on eating, and it's like your body is on autopilot. I still have these days. I don't know. Does anybody else? And sometimes it can be weather related or whatever, but you just keep on eating. Or maybe you eat a normal meal and you feel full, but then 30 minutes later, you're back in the pantry. And it's not just a habit, actually. It can be a little bit, right? But it's not just a habit. That's hormonal hijacking. Have you ever heard that term before? And today I'm going to introduce you to leptin. And I bet some of you have heard about leptin, the hormone. And if you haven't, I'd love to know. Yes, I know about it. No, I've never heard about it. I would love to see that in the comments, please. That would help so that I know if my content is on course with you guys and what you need. So the hormone that nobody is talking about, and that's not true. A lot of people are not. There are some that are, but maybe we should be a little bit more. So let's break it down super simple. Somebody reached out to me yesterday and said, thank you so much because you break things down so simply that I can understand. Rebecca has never heard of the hormone leptin. Melissa, heard of it, but don't know much about it. Awesome. Patty, you've heard of it, but you don't know a lot about it. Hey, you guys, we're hitting on something today. This is very, very good. So I'm convinced that if you can have things broken down and you can understand, now don't get me wrong, it's not like the answer is going to be monumentally different than what I've already been talking about. But if you have another reason to stay on course, another reason to understand or to maybe add something to your routine or whatever, you'll be like, that was me. Okay, so leptin is the hormone that signals fullness. Tells you that you're full, tells your brain, listen to this one, tells your brain to burn fat. I'm not sure. Does anybody other than me want my brain to be told, burn more fat? It's produced in your fat cells. So the more fat that you have, the more leptin you should be producing. Okay? But just like insulin resistance, your body can actually become leptin resistant, meaning that the signal never gets through to your brain. You're full, but your brain thinks that you're starving. Okay? So it slows your metabolism, it cranks up your cravings, and it tells your body to store even more fat. not burn, store, store, store. Okay. And guess what makes leptin resistance worse? Insulin resistance. So you guys, when I tell you literally everything is connected and it's all one conversation, I'm just not joking. I'm not making it up. I'm not being overly simplistic. I do not understand why we go to the medical matrix and they do not have one conversation with us. That's how convinced I am of this. I don't understand why we have all of these specialists that give us all one silo conversation, all with one script. And then by the time we're done, we have, like my dad did, a lazy Susan full of scripts. I do not understand, to the point where, so my cat, she's elderly and I took her in and they gave her a blood test. And I'm an alternative girl. They gave her a blood test, which was unbelievably expensive. It was ridiculous, but that's not my point. I was like, excuse me, what are you even talking about right now? And so they said that her thyroid level was just a little bit elevated. So we should put her on medication for this much money every month. And we should, all of a sudden I'm like, wait a second. If I'm alternative with my body, let's have one conversation here, people. I'm just telling you, like, I think this because I'm like, God did not make our bodies to completely fail and only ever be taken care of by meds. Okay, I'm off my little thingamajig, my little whatever, high bar stool. I don't know. That's nothing that came to me. So what is the catch? Most people are focused only on insulin and blood sugar, which is what we talk about a lot, right? But if leptin is still out of balance, your body will hold on to weight, even if you are eating clean and moving daily. So let this just be another reason, like put another reason into your mind as to, okay, this is why I am paying attention to all of the pieces of my puzzle. This is why I am, and I'm going to list the things right now. This is why, and stay the course, stay the course. Give your body an actual chance to turn itself around. If this is turnaroundable, which it is, if this is reversible, which it is, and I'm not a doctor, I'm just your girlfriend, but I'm telling you, then give your body what it needs, the space and the ability to kind of get functioning again. You can imagine what it's like to try to get something that's been bogged down for a long time, signals that have been missing, signals that have not been connecting, and you've got to get a little bit of rewiring going on inside of you. Like, have enough grace and patience for yourself that you can do that. Okay? These are some of the things. You're not going to be shocked by the conversation. That's a spoiler alert. So number one, eat protein-rich meals early in the day to regulate satiety signals. Now, in the group, we are right now, we just started the 90 days summer of fire. Okay, putting a fire under your health. Fire meaning burning fat. Hello. We're like on day 6 because what is today, June 6th, right? So we're on day 6 of 90 days summer of fire. And so every single day I post some basic thought process, whether it's food, mindset, root cause information, and then what you're staying steady with. Minimum of 30 grams of protein before noon. And I'm going to talk to you about protein here in just a second. Making sure that you're taking your supplementation, and don't be just throwing supplements at the wall and seeing what sticks. Don't do that. Take supplementation that is targeted for insulin resistance. That's what I talk about, so that you can actually get some results and stop feeling like, because otherwise you're like, I don't even know what I'm taking and why I'm taking it, and never mind, I'm just going to stop. And then a confused mind does nothing. Let's clear the confusion. And then the third piece is, what is the third piece? Why do I always forget that when I bring this up to you? I will have to look it up. It's okay. But meaning that you are tracking every single day the different pieces of your puzzle, because it's the compound effect. Have you ever read the book, The Compound Effect? It's a really good book if you've never read it. Little bit every day, little bit every day. And actually it's not linear. What it does is it goes like this. Boom. It takes off. Little, boom. That's the compound effect. That's what we're doing. We're going to compound effect our summer. Okay. So protein is such a big deal. Now we had an expert come in December and talk to us about longevity and, muscle mass and all of these things. And when it came to protein, he said, y'all are just not eating enough protein. You have got to really front load. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to, decide what that looks like for me, blah, blah, blah. When I began to, instead of doing 30 grams of protein, do more like 45 to 50 grams of protein a day in the morning, because I want to reach about my goal weight in protein. I mean, I all of a sudden wasn't hungry or snacky for hours, like 4-6 hours. Like I just was like, this is odd, because I'm convinced that my leptin hormone was activated like it had not been activated before. I'm so convinced of this. And then also, so then if you're not snacking, you're not raising your sugars and you're not calling on insulin and you're not in the cycle of storing fat. Okay. That's why. But also the rest of my day, it literally affects the rest of my day. So this morning I got up and I had 3 eggs and a Emu chicken sausage and an Oikos yogurt. And I think that's like 40. I haven't posted it in the group yet. I will. 46 grams of protein, something like that. I'll look it up. And I just want you to understand that this isn't a fad conversation. You're not seeing everybody talk about protein just because it's the topic of the day in 2025. Everybody was talking about protein. No, this actually can activate your leptin hormone, telling your body you're full and telling your brain to burn fat. And good protein, remember, we don't do sugar, grains, or legumes. That's what we're not doing. We're not getting our protein in that way because it spikes your sugars. And so when you're getting proper protein that doesn't spike your sugars in large amounts, it's a thermogenic. It takes a lot of calories to digest that protein, like way, 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 way more than fat. Like if you ate whipping cream, way, 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 way more than if you just have carbs. Takes a ton of energy to digest and properly deal with. Number 2, avoid constant snacking. We just touched on that. Give your body space between meals. And so white knuckling it really sucks. It's really hard. But if you power pack your breakfast when you finally do eat, you don't have to eat the second you get up. But when you do eat in the morning and you really front load it, you won't have that constant snacky. And then you are very much keeping your insulin at bay. So important. So protein, activate the leptin hormone, no snack, so that you stop activating the insulin hormone. Okay. Improve your sleep. Talk about it all the time, people. What are the 2 things that I do with my sleep? Can anybody tell me what I do? So I make sure that I didn't miss anything. Nope, I'm good. I'm golden. You've been upping your proteins later and decrease your sugar. Gosh, what a difference. More energy. It's amazing. Good for you. It's so simple, but I feel like it went against my own grain. We have like this indoctrination in us in certain ways, and we all have our own things that we have to overcome in our brains. And there was something that just kept me from really, because I felt like I was eating not past fullness, but really, do I need to feel this satiated? Because I don't feel stuffed or bloated, because that's not what straight protein does. So I don't feel stuffed or bloated, but I definitely feel way more satiated. I'm like, And there's just something in my brain that if I really thought on it, I would probably come back to something, who knows, some diet that I did years and years and years ago. Who knows? I don't know. It doesn't matter. Rebecca, she knows my answer. She knows my sleep answer. You are amazing. I love that. So my answer for sleep is ashwagandha and magnesium. Amazing. This is the best sleep that I've ever had. So the ashwagandha launched a little over a year ago. It is amazing. It's USDA certified organic. Really, really good. The magnesium just launched in March, and I was already doing a magnesium that I loved, and I told you guys all about it, and I was waiting and waiting and waiting for this one to launch. I am so happy with the results of this magnesium. I have people who are in love with this magnesium because it's a triple blend. When you go to the doctor, and she even said, one of my customers, she said, whatever my doctor prescribed for me, did nothing for me. She left me a voice message just 2 days ago. Nothing, but this one completely has taken away my leg cramps in the middle of the night, etc. Magnesium deficiency is like all over the place. Like we are so deficient, and it's so simple to fix. So it has a glycinate in it, one of the 3 blends, and I take it 2 before bed with my 2 ashwagandha. And I'm just like, you guys, I'm 60 years old and I just sleep so well. I do not wake up, excuse me, exhausted. I'm hitting REM. I'm dreaming. I feel like the dreaming part came when the magnesium got launched. I don't know what it is about it. I don't have an answer for you. I have not been a dreamer, and I have not been a dreamer who remembers. The minute I started taking this magnesium, I started to dream and remember my dreams. And you might think, well, that's kind of, who cares about that? Or, and I'm not talking about scary dreams or black and white dreams or none of that. I'm talking about good, normal dreams like I used to have, my younger self used to have. So I don't know what it's filling in for me for that. But I'm getting good REM. So I hope that makes sense to you. Improve your sleep. The next one is address the inflammation in your gut. Will it help restless leg syndrome? Rebecca, that's what she's talking about for herself. So she is 75 years old, if you can believe it. And she works still 2-3 days a week, and they're on her feet. And so after her shifts, her multiple shifts, she would try to sleep, and she would wake up like 3 times a night because her legs were so restless and in such a pickle. And this so quickly helped her with that. And if it doesn't for you, no problem, 6-month guarantee. It doesn't, don't worry about it. No risk. But for her, so quickly it fixed it that she was the one that was like, I think I'm going to run out. I'm really concerned. I need you to overnight me some. She got her order and we didn't have to. But it's a triple blend, marine sourced. And then it has an extract in it, an olive extract for your heart. It's really, really good. So address the inflammation in your gut. It messes with leptin signaling. For everybody who is on the gut primer already, you guys, you have no idea the long-lasting effects and the comprehensive help that you are giving your body. I mean, I know I talk about constipation and indigestion, whatever, but there's this just comprehensive conversation because your gastrointestinal tract is like from the moment something enters your mouth until it exits your body. It's your whole trunk of your body. You want your oral health to be good. I mean, you guys, bad oral health, it's like feeds on each other with diabetes. Just, the bad oral health is feeding the diabetes, and the diabetes is giving you, gingivitis, and it's a really bad, round and round and round we go kind of a thing. And so from oral health to your liver health, to your intestine and your colon, that's the GI primer. So those of you that are doing that, you're bringing down that inflammation. And that inflammation that is in your gut from top to bottom, that is messing with your hormone signaling. So if you're already on the primer, God bless you, keep going. You're going to actually reap way more benefits than you thought you were going to reap. And it will help your sleep too. I mean, I've had that as a testimony. I guess I would never guarantee things, but I've had testimonies, people saying their sleep has gotten better. It's because their gut's getting better. And then the last one is to supplement smart omega-3s, fish oil, zinc, magnesium, and gut primers, like we just talked about, can all help rebalance this pathway. So if you need a good wild-caught fish oil, I have that. If you need a good zinc, I have that, the magnesium and the gut primer, I have all of them. And those are ways to be able to help really just bring down inflammation in your body and get everything to work properly. And so it's kind of like replenishing what's going on in your gut, et cetera. So you know what, if you are stuck If you feel like you're doing all the right things, but nothing is changing, this just might be the piece that you've been missing. This whole, why am I so hungry all the time? Why am I constantly in the pantry? Why is the food noise so high? Why? Well, it's a hormonal conversation. And so the more that you begin to turn things back around, and you have 6 months to a year under your belt of doing this, the more you realize, wow, like things are simmering down. Like I'm able to change my habits. This from speaking from my own experience. I'm able to change my habits with more ease because I don't feel so foggy or confused or chaotic in my mind. Because you're slowly turning around signals, you're slowly rewiring, and all of a sudden that rewiring shows itself in kind of a sense of balance, a sense of ability to move forward. I hope that makes sense to you. It's really quite interesting how that works. And don't ever think that your body won't heal. It was designed to heal. It's the way God made you. He made your body with the ability. I mean, think about the trauma and the abuse, meaning like, let's say, toxins, bad ingredients, whatever, high amounts of sugar. Just think about what our body can take and still keep functioning. I mean, it's very well made, like you're fearfully and wonderfully made, right? So I always talk about, if you want to, take that protein thought process, take the thought process, sugar, grain, and legume free, take those and run with those. I have many of you that start there and then you start on supplements. I did it the opposite. So some of you are going to be in one camp, some of you are going to be in another camp. Some of you are going to be like, no, I want acceleration now. And that's when I recommend the total body reset, which I talk about all the time, because it's a piece of where I started. So I started with the trio, which are the 3 supplements that have the 3 ingredients that help with insulin sensitivity. So this is bringing down your sugars and your insulin and bringing up the function of your liver and up your metabolism. This is where I started a little over 10 years ago. Like my before picture, I was a 2X when I started this, okay? Since then, they've launched the gut primer and the probiotic, and these 2 have completely changed the way people's GI tracts, what we just talk about, function. That, did you know? Come on, you guys, leptin is affected by this. GLP-1 is affected by your gut. This is all hormonal, and it's all about your gut. Like, this is the connection. This is the connection you've been waiting for to understand. That's why everybody talks about the gut all the time. It looks like a greens product. It's not. It's actually, it has fermented greens in it, but it's really 6 products in one. So every morning, a little bit of water. I zhuzh it up in my frother. I only put about maybe this much water right there, just a little bit. Cold water out of my fridge. I just dropped my glucose product. And you take this, just like a wellness shot. That's what I do. You can heat it, you can sip on it, but then take your probiotic. Do not forget to have a really, really good probiotic. Yogurt's not enough. Kimchi's not enough. Sauerkraut's not enough. Those are good. Like, add those in, but our guts are really messed up. And if you know that you need to deal with leaky gut or major constipation or short gut syndrome, or you don't have a gallbladder, all of those things, like, take it a little more seriously than that. And the last pillar, because these are 3 pillars, the 3 supplements, that's 1 pillar, the gut reset protocol and the probiotic, that's pillar number 2. And the 3rd pillar is the orange pixie stick. This is what is targeting, it tastes like candy, you put it on your tongue every day. This is what is targeting your visceral fat. And if you do not know what I am talking about, what happens is when you are insulin resistant in your cell, the door is closed and it says no more to the insulin trying to take the sugar and put it into the cell. It says no more. So all of that excess gets stored as fat. because insulin is a fat storing hormone. So it's going to store it in your liver. It's going to store it around your organs. It's going to store it around your intestines, your stomach, your pancreas, all of those things. And that visceral fat is active. It's like beep, 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 beep. That's what it's doing. It's like emitting inflammation and hormones, and it's alive. And you've got to deal with that. Now you can do like body scans where you step on scales and it'll tell you, your visceral fat amount, etc. You can do that. You can, I'm trying to think of what kind of a test would be like at the doctor's office. I'm not sure. But most of you have, like you've told me, if you've had scans done and how your visceral fat is decreasing. Now, the fun part about pillar number 3, all by itself, is the fact that you begin to lose these inches right here. And I did not think that I would ever, ever, ever be able to begin to lose off of like the back part of my hips. It's just was my own limiting belief because that's been my life forever. Like I'm kind of more of a pear where, if your hips are bigger than your shoulders, you're considered a pear. And that would definitely be my body shape. But I'm becoming more and more narrow this way because since I started doing this in rounds, 90 days on, 30 days off, 90 days on, 30 days off. It's a thermogenic and I don't want my body to get used to it. That's the total body reset. You can pick and match the different pillars, or you can do all of it. And it depends on what you're wanting. You can also just start with making sure that your protein is super high and that you're not spiking your sugars and that you're getting off of sugar and grains and legumes, etc. As an insulin resistant person, you can do all of that. Like I love everybody's story and everybody's journey. Whatever is working for you, like this is exciting. Let's do it. But if you want to be just a part of some results for the total body reset and the summer of fire, that's what we're talking about. That thing is not going to work for me. At the top of my Instagram page, I have a highlight bubble that says total body reset. And you can go look at that. The A1Cs that have come down in 90 days, the weight that's been lost in 90 days or less than 8 weeks, the inches that have been lost in 30 days or 90 days. Like it's worth taking a look. So if you need any of that information, I love it. I just love it so much, you guys. When you text me and you say, hey, Kirsten, you might be a current customer or you might be somebody brand new to me. And you text me and you say, hey, I need a cart. Could you put this, and this in a cart for me? I'm like, yes, I can. It makes me so happy to be able to help you customize what you actually want. Because don't you understand that what you actually want or you've assessed that you need, you will be faithful to. You will actually walk out the journey and get results. So when somebody says to me, will you send me a cart? I can see the results coming. And I'm just like, yes. So reach out to me again in my inbox, my messenger, my Instagram, my texting, whatever. I have people find my email address, which it's not hard to find, but I'm just saying and you email me and you're like, I want the total body reset, or I only want this, or whatever. Game on. Let's go. Let's change your summer so that come fall, when you hit the stores and you're going to go buy a new sweater or you're going to go buy a new skirt for the fall or jeans or whatever, you feel better in your clothes. Maybe somebody is going to text me and say, I got off of a med this summer. Maybe somebody's going to text me and say that you were able to completely, like last year, I had somebody who from July to January, they put not diabetic in her chart. Summertime is a good time to make decisions that will be long lasting and sustainable for you. It's very, very fun. Now, today at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time in the group, Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women, we're doing the recipe. This is so good. So this is a keto granola. It's a homemade granola. It is the easiest thing you've ever made in your entire life. It will help you to travel well with it. It will help you to if you have little snacks like this in your purse, I guarantee you, You will be so happy. You could even have a little baggie in your purse at a wedding. You could use it on unsweetened yogurt. You can do so many things. We'll talk about it. But it is so easy and so satisfying. And there's not a grain in sight. And there's no sugar, but yet it tastes like, wow, yummy. So we're going to make that at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time in the group. Otherwise, have like such an amazing weekend. Don't miss out. And if you don't feel good enough to enjoy your weekends, then that is why you should be starting a program like this. This is why you should be entering into a system where you can get results. Do not sit around another weekend feeling like trash, feeling exhausted, feeling like you're foggy. Don't do that. Just take control of your health and say, doggone it, I'm going to make more memories with my family. I'm traveling 4 times this summer. I don't know if I could express to people how free I feel to be able to travel without any concern about swollen ankles like I used to, or being so exhausted that I just wanted to say no to everything all the time. Hey, Mom, do you guys want to, we're in the Black Hills. Do you want to go here? Do you want to go there? No, you guys go ahead without me. That used to be my conversation. You go without me because I'm so tired. But now I'm not. Now I'm like, I'm going to get down my packing for 4 trips. I'm going to be like, let's go. Let's enjoy life. So, all right. Have a good weekend. So good to see you guys. And 3 o'clock, I hope to see you there.